contextualize this a bit because some people may not, understand what we mean by this. For the Israelites in old times, times passed away, they longed for, better living conditions. Let's summarize it as better living conditions. Very much like how a lot of us in Africa, in Nigeria, long for better living conditions. In fact, as I am now, you people just turn off the volume on the sun. It's okay for me. That's my better living condition. But I'm most likely somebody that is privileged. A lot of people have a lot of things that they are going through. But even in the times where you are going through a lot, there is always a promised land. There's always, how is this situation better in the future, right? And then depending on who is promising you, sometimes it can be your dad, sometimes it's your company, sometimes it's a dream that you dreamt or a mentor that you saw online, offline. An example of a situation that happened, to you. It can be anything. However, what you would see is that most of the time, where you are and where you are going can be perceived as Egypt to the promised land. For us, why this story is very, very emotional for us is that we are trying to do something in 10 years that we know that it's not going to be easy. So, you go on our social media channels, you see everywhere, oh, these guys are raising 100 USD millionaires in each of the 54 African countries. It's such a romantic statement. It's very easy to say anything and write it and then put some graphics to make it pop, But the reality of that statement is that you are now going to look for 100 people who have their own lives already going or starting in some sense, and you are going to give them information that can turn them into USD millionaires in 10 years in 54 African countries. It sounds like an audacious goal that might be rivaled by some stammerer coming to tell a whole nation, hey, God talked to me one time. He said, make all of you follow me. Say, he get where he promised us. Say that place, normal milk day, normal honey day, normal M&H, milk and honey. Everywhere stew for that side. Make una just follow me go. I'm sure he would have been sounding the way we sound when we say 54 countries, 100 USD millionaires. So we took lessons from that. Everybody has what it is that they depend on. Everybody has what it is that they draw inspiration from. But whatever it is that you are drawing inspiration from, continue to draw with a capital letter D. Because Egypt to the promised land is a possibility. It has happened before, it's happening today, and it will continue to happen. So, last time we spoke about the mannerisms of success. And what we learned was that there are several things. We couldn't even summarize them, all in what we are talking about. We had almost 9 or 10 mannerisms that covered across income, budgeting, how to be generous, living below your means, avoiding debt. I think so, very, very romantic. My guys have put fans so that I will not die of heat. Very, very romantic. Thank you so much. And we spoke about that, and what we saw was that success is not, for the people that are religious, is not prayed for, okay? There are things that you must be able to put, you can't just pray for it. There are things that you yourself must do. You must show an effort that will now be blessed by the universe or God or whoever your belief standing is in, so that you can achieve success. Anything less than that is faith without works. And you know how that one ends. Now, today, we want to be looking at Egypt to the promised land in the context of the younger generation. So the millennials, the Gen Zs, and our younger brothers and sisters. For some of us, our children, who are coming behind us. We want to look at Egypt to the promised land in the context of that. Anybody where they are now, they can, if you have a second phone or something, you can open social media before you will scroll 20 tweets or 20, maybe not tweets, but like 20 posts, you will definitely see something that says, so in the Nigerian context now, oh, this used to be 80K. Gen Zs will not understand. Or this used to be 8 naira. Gen Zs, this is palito. These people cannot relate, this and that. And it's funny, it's exciting to see, but what that also means is that you are mentally marginalizing these guys, you know. So the experiences that each generation have gotten are different from the next, and they are growing with those experiences, and they are moving to their own promised land. They've forgotten the generation behind them. And this happens in virtually almost any sector that is not learning, right? So even in the communication of FMCGs, in the communication of some, you know, other companies that are trying to sell products to this generation, if they could not sell products to the generation, then what they are doing is that they are not paying attention to what these people like, how they think. And this has unfortunately trickled down into finance, which is what mainly this fellowship is about. So we said, instead of doing a general all-comers affair, for today, let's focus on the people that we are actually here for. The generation that have been ignored, you know, by some of our big brothers in finance. And wherever you are in your finances, I just want to tell you that perhaps you are in Egypt, but the Egyptians you see today, you will see no more. There are key steps that you can follow to make sure that whatever part of your finances are oppressing you, you can break free and move towards your normal M and H, normal milk and honey, promised land. So this message is for the younger guys. Let us see what are some of the things that we need to do to take us from where we don't want to be and start moving us closer to where we should be or where we desire to be. Guys, I have information for you. Yesterday I was working with my Orthodox investors, learned scholars at the office, and we were doing some analysis on some stocks, you know, that we saw. And we came to the conclusion that it is true that it is the person that has information that is the most powerful. We were analyzing Microsoft. So Microsoft is a stock sold, you know, in the abroad. It's on their exchange in the abroad. And we said, you know what? We're trying to do a 10-year target for 2043 for 100 years the millionaires. So what does 10 years looking back, you know, what does that look like in terms of each of these stocks? And we started at the first stock we analyzed, which is the one that I joined them for, was Microsoft. And we saw that it was around $40 or so 10 years ago, 2014. And today, it has done 8 or 9x that amount. And then we did a calculation, if these are so we got the dividends that have been paid over time. So these are the dividends that have been paid. By the time you add that to the capital appreciation, we then did an analysis. Had it been you invested minimum wage, in 2014, minimum wage in 2014 was 18K or so. So we tried to do that. So had it been you invested 18K at the exchange rate then, by now, at the exchange rate, in a space of 10 years, you would have crossed from 18,000 to 1-point-something million, excess of 1-point-something million, if you had invested in that Microsoft stock. And it gave me a little bit of joy, and it gave me a little bit of hope. Because what that means is, you have a target to make 100, USD millionaires. If this same situation can repeat itself, right, in the next 10 years, you would achieve it with that person at least. So now get information, now a ticket, not the court. A lot of everybody, those people that existed at that time, knowing that, you can buy stocks, you could even buy Microsoft if you wanted to, you know. But who get the information say, Oga, why don't you put it like this so that in the long term you can, have a bit of joy? Those are the guys that can tell this story from a first-person perspective. That is the kind of thinking that we should be looking at. And in Nigeria, specifically, we have a Fantastic opportunity. A very, very sweet romantic opportunity. Because our stock market is a baby, it's a child. We have just about 170 plus stocks on our stock market. If you compare that with the US, first of all, US, they even have two major stock markets that I know, NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. And each of these has nothing less than 2,000 companies listed there. That's a developed stock exchange. Our own is 170. It's not even, wow. We have not started. So what that means is that those that are taking action now, Nigeria will not always be like this. Africa will not always be like this. No matter how the thing bad, very, very soon we'll go begin crawl before we walk, because now from clap, person take the entire dance. So it's a case of, if you have the information now to invest in some of these one or two instruments while the market is still a child, you can imagine where you are going to be in another couple of years. It's all about taking action. Right. Today, for the first time, I will finally drink this water where they inside the bottle. When I they bring every time when I know they drink. Because the truth of the matter is that I'm hot. Make I not go faint. I can't trend that the early fainted while telling us about Egypt to Promised Land. It's okay. So we've talked about a couple of things, and I gave an example of the contrast between where you are, where you want to be. We also did looking back at the past. If you were in the past and you took some decisions, how those decisions can affect your future, quote and unquote. And we also talked about why, this particular topic is special to us, and it's an emotional topic, because we are trying to replicate what was done in our own way, right? For us to be able to get here, there are several things that we need. And we've talked about virtually all of them. We've talked about virtually all of them before now. If you've been listening to our lives, you would have seen us time and time again. First of all, try and get income. When you do income and you get it legitimately, why don't you budget? When you are budgeting and you know what is coming in and what is going in, why don't you try and make sure something is saved or stockpiled? Cookie Miami will say, can you start from an emergency fund? After that one, why don't you now try to invest, build a portfolio? Can you do 60% stable, 30% medium risk, 10% low risk? That one is English. We all know it. Until the day that we put it into practice, increase your value as a human being, you will earn. It's not motivational speech, it's fact. Any day you know how to do X more than the next person, you get paid the best. That's the way of the world, right? That's how it has been created from since the beginning. We've spoken about if you are not organized in how these earnings come in, you go just be like baskets where they pour water. Even if not the ocean where they turn upside down, pour inside basket. One better amount of water, the basket not go fit save. You go be like baskets. And if you are listening to this, and after this you don't take correction, you are an ugly basket. Yeah. Because you knew, you are aware, and you still went and did so, not to bring anybody's this thing down, but we must be motivated for the job ahead. We need to apply a melancholy approach and be pragmatic about whatever we do. We need to be focused about it. Nothing wrong with jaying, just do it on a budget, right? So after earning, you need a budget to be able to catch some of the things that you're earning so that you can save. And that saving, like we always say, is a process of creating a habit, right? Nobody becomes a multi-millionaire by saving. I just save. Go and check what inflation report is saying. You will know that you are wrong. Couple of days, they say they want to raise interest rates for interbank, for NPR. They want to raise interest rates. So they want to tighten, supply in the policy, so that they can tackle inflation from the roundabout way instead of producing more goods and services. The producing more goods and services is not the easiest thing to do. So they are doing their own best as well, even though we know that they can do better, you know. But they say when the elephants fight, now the grass the year win. You will know. Say yes, the inflation is 20, 29%, 30%. You are removing the money once small from your salary or whatever. You want to go and put it under your pillow so that inflation can mama it. And then you will come and complain, oh, even the money I kept, I wanted to use it to buy tomatoes. Now tomatoes has increased in price. Tomatoes will wait for you. It will wait for you. Saving every month is to establish a habit of understanding that 10% of more of whatever I get is mine to keep. After you have, brought that from your earning, you need to go and put it in an instrument. You need to invest it. And I not say go and play kalu, because you go suffer. Carry your money and go and play kalu, or they can do Ponzi. There's a part of the Beige anthem that I say, "May Ponzi no scatter your jai." Somebody will ask, what does that mean? You will suffer, you will sweat. You don't go feel breathe well. There are structured instruments right from the beginning of time. Like in the investing world, that's what I mean. When we say people they use become multi-billionaires. Then Warren Buffett, when he say he start to invest from 11 years old, I be well. All those men, them, what they are doing, what did they do? Are they mad? Don't only save, you must be able to invest. When you are investing, investment advice is not, I went out and I overheard a conversation where people were saying, that guy, give him 20K, he give me 40K back. Oh, this is a veritable choice of investment. Why don't I do it? Make I double my money every 2 minutes. Are you a thief? Investment is long term. So we already know about earning, about budgeting, about building the habit of saving, and about investments. We've talked about it extensively. Everybody talks about it. Our bestie by force, Normal Money Africa, they talk about that. Everybody that we admire in the industry, even those we will not send, those we not send us, everybody knows that investment is the way to go, right? But in building millionaires for the future, we must understand the kinds of investments that we should be looking at. And the real core message for today is the spirit of collaboration. Anybody will get calculator, or you still feel do notification bar, draw down your calculator, make una help me calculate something. 100% of 0 naira, what is it? If you go school, you go no send a 0. Even if you no go, you sell for market or something. So far you are old enough to the age of exchanging of value through money. You will know that if you own 100% of nothing, you be better nothing. Ogogoro person. Now you be. But 1% of 1 trillion, you go soft. When they complain, when they do church, you just do your lane. Soft. On top your 1% of something big. Collaboration. Everybody want to do their, yes, I'm a CEO, I'm a this, I'm a that. People are not looking for active ways to collaborate. If we say we want to go somewhere, we want to go far, there's a story that they tell us normally that time, it taught me a good lesson also. And it's a story of a village where they say, food no day, brother, water no day. And they went ahead to complain. And then they went and whether it's hire or a thief or somebody, Shah came into the village and then asked the village chief, Baba, waiting they suck for your village. And the guy tell and say, oh boy, food no day. Everybody they hungry. It remains small now, go begin contemplate cannibalism. Waiting they happen. So the guy now said, I'll give you a better performance. Sweet magic trick. We're going to on this thing. The guy went and brought pots, put them from middle of village square, and he light fire. Everybody come out to come see the magic when he go do. He first of all starts by sending person to stream. Ace, you go stream, go bring water, come. carry water come, put for the bowl. Begin look each other. Okay, who get plantain for here? One person go say, yes, I get plantain. Down go run, carry the plantain come. Person go peel and put inside. Who get beans? This one go. Who get salt? This one go. Who get this? Till he finally come reach, say they come prepare a very, very nice, sweet, romantic, delicious food that all of them can now share plate by plate and go away. 100% of your one plantain cannot work. 100% of your salt alone cannot work. 100% of the water when you go stream, go fetch, it cannot work. But if you contribute it as 1% to a greater pool, it goes steal for you and everybody. There's something that one of my ogas at the top, he says, the problem why we don't collaborate is because we have a slavers mindset, slavers mentality. You know, everybody is suspicious of the next person. Meanwhile, people did their own countries and their own different continents. Everything's still for them. If you look a brand, one person, call any celeb where you know, go check the pyramid of people where they under that person, where they push that brand, where they get pride, say, yes, this guy, I'm responsible for this particular thing there, where maybe they no go recognize them ever. They are okay. Where others, they do peep with card, themselves, they go do peep. Yeah. But you, because you want day on your own, you want to show say only you be Odogu, now only you feel do something, you go suffer. Especially how things are going now. It's becoming harder and harder for one-man businesses to, you need to start looking for what are the ways that I can collaborate to reach this place faster. You know, there's something they say, two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either one falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Somebody will say justice for singles. That's not what I'm talking about. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to pick them up. Somebody will say it's because of their bad behavior. That's not what I'm talking about. In the context of business, it is good to go as a group. Make everybody see what they could contribute. Burnout is real. And in fact, in this economy, you can literally burn. Because anything will make me step out. Thank God say they bring fan. I for tire. There's gold in collaboration. And specifically to the younger guys, the millennials are not young again, no. And they look on and they laugh. Old men and women camouflaging. But still, for the purpose of, you know, millennials and Gen Zs, you know, there's no better time to come together and find what works. In terms of money, no, but I'm not talking about Aluta Continua or anything like that. I'm just talking about in terms of money. There's no better time. After we finish complaining and tweeting and tagging and all those our things, what would they do to relieve the pressure? Let us come back and find ways where these things, what would they do, they work. Find ways where graphic designers fee earn in FX. Find ways where farmers fee export their things within us. Because nobody, all these other men, they're on their way out. All these other women, they're on their way out. Now me and you go suffer, they go mortgage, wait till be that, oil process where they never produce. They don't use and take borrow loan. Who you think say go pay? Person when they get 10 or 20 years to live. We go suffer if we don't help ourselves, all of us. There must be a spirit of collaboration. There must be an angle of when one falls, the rest pick him up in terms of business. I will just close with this normal food for thought, FFT. So anybody that jackpats now, and somebody comes and say, oh, why are you jackpotting? Why are you going? There's something wrong with you. Do you know what that person has faced that is making them to go? Do you know what that person has seen that is making? There's something wrong with you. Anybody who want Jackpa, nothing. Don't allow anybody to tell you otherwise, if that's your choice. Because nobody knows your personal experience. Nobody knows whether you see something with your eyes. For maybe that time they do SARS protest or whatever. Maybe SARS, you collect for their hand. As you survive them, you just say, no. Once beaten, twice shy, bro. Now you run. Run is good. Because person no go fit see wetin go kill am. Still they do chest when you no carry juju. So, but for those that have decided to stay, this place is us that have it, right? They're full Africa continent. Now we get them. Now we go still know how we go take survive inside. These other guys, where they the other continents, our friends, our pen pals, and the people who they collect dollars from, they offer them service. Those guys are like for the continent of North America now. Those guys are enjoying in terms of wealth. Their complaint not reach our own. If you count 20 of them, you will see 2 USD millionaires. You just enter one room, the day 20. The possibility of you seeing 2 millionaires is 99% or more. But here, full Burna Boy concerts, maybe you know go fit see 10. It takes 3,999 counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 3,009, 3,997. Before you go find one African millionaire. If this thing does not do you somehow, you are strong. Because what that means is, even if you become a millionaire, all around you, now so pressure, now so chairman, senior man, my pikin, this, that. You don't go feel even enjoy the millions. We need to be able to take a collaborative front. We must be pragmatic about our approach. We must be motivated for the work ahead. We must apply a melancholy approach to make sure that when our brother is falling, we catch him. And you too, they fall, they catch you. Time to catch another person, you no catch. People are just lucky that now live a day. Had it been I know you now, had it been 2 of us, they the same place. Our investment opportunities are more or less ripe for the plucking. Let's take advantage of them. Let's structure our portfolios well. Let's try to collaborate with one another. For us, it's 100 USD millionaires in 54 countries. For you, it might be exporting 1 metric ton of catfish every week. For another person, it might be selling clothes with their brand name to, big brands across the world. It's different things for all of us, but nobody can achieve it alone. So on that note, I want to thank us all for joining in again this Friday. We would most likely do a Twitter Spaces next week, and then upper week we'll do we'll do this again with a different topic, a powerful topic that will enter our skin. We'll go there, all right. The Beige Africa team, we're always happy to get ideas. We're always happy to respond to queries. Follow us on all platforms. They don't show me paper, say, time for marketing gimmicks. Say, make I now, they retrace my steps. And I'm even happy because everywhere hot, but I must do the work that I was sent here for. So follow us for financial literacy content. Follow every other person who does financial literacy content, because only us no go fit talk and finish. And we're on all channels. Interact with us. We will interact with you as well. Thank you so very much for the opportunity to speak to us today. And have a fantastic Friday. Sorry, Bill, I said I want to introduce one part of testimony time. I think so. Anybody that has a testimony, anybody that has a good news, anybody that has a positive outlook, anybody that has listened to us, taking the advice, in fact, anybody that has listened to any good financial, whatever advice, taking it and it has worked, please Say it so that we can know that we are not mad. Let's show it to other people. You see, in Duam, you they wait. You go suffer. So testimonies, comments, likes, shares, we're very happy about it. Thank you guys so much for listening to us, and see you next time. I think so. Make I carry my fan, because I think so.